After 60, there are 5 secrets you should keep hidden from your family until the very end. As we age, life brings a new set of challenges: health issues, financial concerns, and the emotional complexity of family dynamics. By the time we're 60, we've lived through decades of experiences, some joyful, others difficult. While family often means love and support, it's not always the best place for full disclosure. Why? Because not every secret or personal detail benefits from being shared. In fact, revealing some things could create unnecessary stress, conflict, or even judgment from the very people you love most. Here's the truth: some matters are better left unsaid. But what are these things? And why should you keep them private? Stick around as we explore 5 secrets you should never share with your family after 60 based on real-life experiences and case studies. The risks of sharing too much. Sharing too much can create problems you might not expect. Imagine you open up about a deeply personal issue, hoping for understanding, but instead, your family misunderstands your intentions. A single comment taken the wrong way can spark arguments, create mistrust, and even lead to resentment. For example, a man once shared with his children that he had struggled financially earlier in life and had borrowed money from someone they all knew. What he meant as a life lesson turned into a source of embarrassment for the family, and it caused unnecessary tension at gatherings. Misunderstandings like this can change how others see you or your actions. After 60, many people feel a subtle loss of independence, often because family members want to help. While their intentions are good, sharing too much can unintentionally open the door for them to take control of decisions you'd prefer to make yourself. For instance, a woman in her early 60s mentioned to her son that she had trouble with her eyesight while driving at night. Before she could explain that she had already scheduled an appointment with a doctor, her son insisted on selling her car and arranging rides for her. She felt stripped of her ability to handle her own challenges, and this led to frustration for both of them. Sometimes, keeping things to yourself is a way of protecting your loved ones from stress they do not need to carry. If you reveal every worry or struggle, they may feel a responsibility to fix things that do not really concern them. For example, a grandfather once told his grandchildren about a minor health scare he had resolved years earlier. They became anxious, constantly checking on him, even though the issue was no longer relevant. This left him feeling guilty for causing them unnecessary worry. Keeping certain matters private can be an act of love, sparing your family from burdens that they do not need to bear. Privacy is not about hiding something bad. It is about creating peace for yourself and those you care about. Choosing what to share and what to keep private is a thoughtful way to protect relationships, maintain independence, and avoid unnecessary stress for everyone involved. Secret 1. Your full financial details. Money is one of the most sensitive and personal aspects of life. After 60, it becomes even more critical to keep your financial details private. Sharing too much about your finances, whether you're comfortably secure or navigating challenges, can have unintended consequences that disrupt your peace and relationships. Oversharing financial details can create a risk of dependency. If family members know about a healthy savings account or steady investments, they might begin to rely on you financially, even when you're on a fixed income. Subtle requests for help can add up, putting pressure on resources you've worked hard to secure for your own well-being. For instance, one retiree shared with his family that he had received a modest pension increase. Over time, small but frequent requests from relatives began chipping away at his savings, leaving him struggling to meet his own needs. Another potential issue is conflict over inheritance. Conversations about money can quickly shift focus to what you'll leave behind, even if those decisions are years away. Such discussions often spark arguments and create tension, particularly among siblings or extended family. A man named Robert, age 65, experienced this firsthand. Hoping to be transparent, he openly discussed his savings and assets with his children. Instead of fostering understanding, It led to constant questions about his spending and thinly veiled suggestions to prioritize their future inheritance. This left Robert feeling controlled and even guilty for enjoying his own hard-earned money. The better approach is to handle your financial planning privately and proactively. Work with a financial advisor to create a comprehensive plan for your savings, investments, and eventual estate. They can help you design a strategy that aligns with your goals without needing to involve anyone else. When the time comes to discuss specifics, disclose only the information that is absolutely necessary. This ensures clarity without opening the door to unwelcome opinions or pressures. By keeping your financial details private, you safeguard your independence and protect your family relationships from unnecessary strain. Money should provide you security and freedom, not complicate or overshadow the bonds you've nurtured with your loved ones. Secret 2. Past mistakes or regrets. Everyone has their share of past mistakes or regrets, but after 60, many of those skeletons are buried deep in the past. Sharing these personal missteps with your family may seem like a way to lighten your emotional load, but it can have unintended consequences. The biggest reason not to share past mistakes is that it can shift how your family perceives you. People often hold on to an image of their loved ones, especially parents, as stable and strong. Revealing past regrets might alter their view of you, possibly eroding the respect they once had. For example, a woman named Linda, aged 62, felt compelled to tell her children about a time in her marriage when she had considered leaving their father during a difficult period. She had long moved past that chapter and worked through it. But by sharing this, Linda unknowingly introduced doubt in her children's minds. They started questioning the stability of their parents' relationship, and the once solid image of their family began to crack. The tension between Linda and her children grew, as they couldn't shake the thought of the instability she had revealed.
In addition, sharing these past regrets can lead to unnecessary guilt. Even if you've long since resolved the issues in your life, your family might feel burdened by them, especially if the problems are impossible to fix. You might find them offering unsolicited advice or questioning your past decisions, which only makes you revisit issues that no longer matter. For instance, if you confide in your children about an old financial mistake, they might feel like they need to step in and fix things for you when you've already put the situation to rest on your own. What can you do instead? Instead of burdening your family with past regrets, it's healthier to confide in a therapist or a trusted friend who can offer support without judgment. Talking to a professional allows you to process your feelings in a safe, confidential space. Focus on the lessons you've learned from your past mistakes and how they've helped shape you into the person you are today, rather than dwelling on the specifics of what went wrong. This allows you to move forward without unnecessarily revisiting painful or private moments. Keeping past mistakes and regrets to yourself can protect your family dynamics and preserve your sense of peace. Your experiences are yours to learn from, and you don't need to share every detail with others to find resolution or healing. Secret 3. Health concerns you can manage. As we age, it's normal to experience health concerns. However, not every ache or diagnosis needs to be shared with your family, especially if it's something you're managing well on your own. There's a fine line between being open with loved ones and oversharing, and it's important to recognize when it's better to keep things to yourself. One key reason not to share every health concern is to avoid unnecessary worry. Family members often act out of concern, and while this is natural, it can sometimes lead to overreaction. For instance, a small health issue like mild arthritis may be met with an outpouring of concern from your family. They may start treating you like you're fragile or incapable of handling simple tasks, even though you're perfectly capable. This well-meaning overreaction can create unnecessary tension and make you feel helpless or diminished in your abilities. Maintaining your independence is another important reason to keep certain health concerns private. Sharing too much can lead to family members stepping in and making decisions about your health or daily life without your consent. Imagine if you told your children about a minor condition you were dealing with. and they began scheduling your medical appointments or limiting your activities out of an abundance of caution. This loss of autonomy could leave you feeling like your independence is slipping away, even if you're still perfectly capable of managing your health. A good example of this comes from John, age 68, who chose to keep his manageable arthritis diagnosis to himself. He didn't want his children constantly checking in on him or treating him like he couldn't handle physical activities. Instead of constantly being asked if he was okay, John kept his condition private, allowing him to maintain his dignity and autonomy. By doing so, he avoided unnecessary worry and remained in control of his own life. So, what can you do instead? Share health updates only if they directly impact others or require assistance. For example, if a condition affects your ability to perform daily tasks or requires someone's help, that's when it's time to let your family know. Otherwise, it's best to keep things to yourself. Stay on top of your health by scheduling regular appointments with your doctor to ensure that you're managing your condition effectively. By maintaining control over your health and keeping family members informed only when necessary, you can preserve both your independence and your peace of mind. Secret 4. Opinions about family members. At the age of 60, you've lived through decades of family dynamics, watching relationships evolve, and perhaps noticing certain patterns or behaviors you don't agree with. While it might be tempting to voice your opinions, especially when it comes to issues involving family members, this can often lead to unintended consequences. One of the main reasons not to share your opinions about family members is to preserve harmony. Criticizing one family member to another can easily create divisions and strife, even when the intent is not to harm. For example, if you express concerns about one child's behavior or choices to another family member, it can sow seeds of discord. Suddenly, your well-meaning comments may create misunderstandings, leading to arguments and hard feelings that could last for years. Another reason not to share these opinions is that your honest thoughts might not be received the way you intended. Family members, especially those who feel personally invested in the matter, might take your words the wrong way. Even if you're trying to offer a thoughtful or constructive opinion, it can easily be misinterpreted as criticism. This miscommunication can result in long-term damage to relationships, leaving you with guilt and regret over something that could have been avoided. A case in point is Patricia, who at 63 found herself confiding in her eldest daughter about her concerns over her youngest son's career choices. She was worried about his future and felt it was important to voice these concerns. However, her daughter, in an attempt to help, shared the conversation with her brother. This led to hurt feelings on the son's part, and a temporary rift formed between him and Patricia. What was meant to be a well-meaning discussion ended up causing unnecessary tension in the family. So, what should you do instead? Practice neutrality and avoid taking sides in family matters. Stay out of conflicts that don't directly involve you, and keep your opinions about others to yourself, unless asked for input. If you do need to share your thoughts, make sure to do so gently, with care, and respect for all parties involved. The goal should always be to help strengthen relationships, not to create divides or lasting resentments. By keeping your opinions to yourself or offering them only when needed, you can help maintain peace and harmony within the family. Secret 5. Romantic or personal relationships. When you're over 60 and single, or perhaps widowed, the prospect of starting a new romantic relationship can bring a sense of excitement and renewal. However, as enticing as this new chapter might be, it's often wise to keep the details of your personal life private, at least at first. One of the main reasons to avoid sharing the specifics of a new relationship with your family is the risk of judgment. Adult children, while wanting the best for their parents, can sometimes become overly critical of their romantic choices. They may feel protective and want to ensure that their parents aren't hurt or taken advantage of. Unfortunately, this protective instinct can backfire. Instead of feeling supported, you might feel scrutinized or pressured. which can create unnecessary stress in your relationship. Another important factor is maintaining boundaries. Your personal life is just that, personal. While it's natural to want to share significant events or relationships with loved ones, not every detail needs to be disclosed. You are entitled to keep parts of your life private, especially if they are still in the early stages or if they involve sensitive emotional matters. Oversharing can blur the lines between your personal autonomy and your family's opinions, which could affect how freely you feel in the relationship. Take Barbara, for example, who was 70 when she started dating a man she met through a senior community group. Excited about this new connection, she shared the news with her family. However, her children immediately voiced concerns about his intentions, despite having no evidence to suggest any wrongdoing. Their reactions made Barbara question her own judgment and feel uncertain about her new relationship. What was meant to be a joyful new experience ended up feeling like a source of conflict, which only made her second-guess her own decisions. So, what should you do instead? Keep the early stages of dating private until you feel confident about the person and the relationship. Share only when the relationship becomes more significant and long-term. This way, you can avoid the unnecessary judgment of others and preserve the privacy and boundaries that will help you feel more in control of your life. It's important to trust your instincts and move forward with your romantic life without feeling pressured by others' opinions. Keeping certain things private is not about being dishonest. It's about protecting your peace and independence. By choosing what to share and what to keep to yourself, you're making thoughtful decisions that benefit both you and your loved ones. Sometimes, withholding information can preserve family harmony and prevent unnecessary stress. Start by asking yourself, will sharing this improve the situation or just cause worry? For example, if you're feeling a little under the weather but know it's nothing serious, sharing every detail with your family might just cause them unnecessary concern. Instead, wait until you need support or guidance before talking about it. When something does impact others, it's important to communicate but be selective. For example, if you're making a big decision that will affect family dynamics, be honest but don't overwhelm them with too much detail. Choose the right time and manner to share what's needed. If you feel like you need to talk, find the right outlet. A trusted friend, a support group, or a professional like a therapist or financial advisor can be a safe space to express your feelings and work through personal matters without burdening your family. Aging is a journey that requires wisdom and discretion. By keeping these 5 secrets, your financial details, past mistakes, manageable health concerns, personal opinions about family and new relationships, you're choosing to prioritize peace, protect your independence, and preserve family harmony. At the end of the day, privacy isn't selfish. It's a form of self-care and love for those around you. Remember, you've earned the right to decide what stays private as you live out your golden years with dignity and grace.